And we're going.
All right. Welcome to the Uninformed, a weekly podcast where we talk about subjects that we may or may not be informed on. I'm Thomas. We have phonics today.
Yeah.
And special guest, Sassdrew. Drew for short. So, we did have a topic prepared, but fuck that shit.
Fuck it.
Who wants to do a podcast that we prepared for? We're going to talk about self-education, I think would be a good title for this one. Pretty much, it's exactly what it sounds like.
We got 2 college dropouts. How's it going?
And
a Sassdrew.
and Sassdrew, who's on his second year of college. And so tell us what you think about self-education, Sassdrew.
It would be so much better if I didn't have to go to college, and I'd probably go for it, but, you know, getting degrees and stuff is kind of how life works, supposedly.
Well, here's the thing. Granted, I don't consider myself an expert on anything, so take everything I say with a grain of salt. The way I look at college is it's the hazing to get into the upper class. It's like, we all did this, we all put ourselves in this unhealthy, high-stress situation just so we could learn how to...
You meant it first, but that no, I get what you're saying.
Yeah. Unhealthy, high-stress situation, so we could learn how to deal with an unrealistic amount of stress, to work in the what a lot of older people would say is, quote-unquote, the real world.
Ironically.
I'm sure... Sorry, go ahead.
I thought you were done.
Oh, okay. I'm sure everybody's heard the whole, you'll never make it in the real world, or at least my parents were the only people who were verbal abusive. But anyway.
Probably just your parents.
Well, I'm not going to talk about that. Anyway, so yeah, that's how I look at college. And then, so that diploma, that degree, all of that shit, that's your ticket. This is the tried and true way to get a solid job that makes more than $5 a year.
You should at least say minimum wage. Come on now.
Nah, less than minimum wage.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're working at a restaurant, right?
Oh my god. Me? I don't work. I do work, but I don't work at a restaurant. I worked at a Papa John's for a while, and they paid minimum wage while you were in the store, and then whatever you earned in tips, which was sometimes nothing. They paid me like so much money for gas every trip. That was it. So it was like a minimum wage job and also half a not minimum a tip job.
I mean, paying for your gas is pretty nice.
Well, it was like $1. It was like $1 per trip.
You don't travel very far.
Well, I mean, sometimes it was like 20 minutes out, and then 20 minutes back.
I mean, $1 in, $1 back, that's, 365 times 2? Oh, well, that's assuming you work every day. Never mind, that's a little...
Yeah, I mean...
You don't work every day.
I don't really want to work every day.
Never mind.
Yeah, no, it was like $1 per trip, so it wasn't too bad.
Now, I was gonna say, ironically, one of the first things I was taught when I started college, I was forced to take a college preparation class, and one of the biggest things they tried to make me remember and understand is that education will only get you so far. It's about who you know that is important for getting a job.
Very true.
College also helps you with that as well, because you can line up internships, and one of my friends who just graduated like 2 days ago, his professor is starting a business, and he's like, so I forget what the official job title is called, but his professor basically gave him a job in his startup. Just straight up, nice. Like one of the top people in the company. So I was like really excited for him.
And I have horrible social skills, so whenever I heard that, I think it overall just made me not feel as what's the word I'm looking for? Determined to try and actually learn anything. Motivated, yeah. I kind of lost all motivation as part of that, and then plenty of other things that occurred in my life around the same time. And I ended up just dropping out.
Well, that sucks.
Yeah.
I hear there were other reasons, but that is a good reason to rethink life. I don't know. I think opportunity is a big thing. Like, I didn't realize it a lot when I was younger, but a lot of people don't have the same opportunities I do. And I feel, a lot of it, I feel that I've just thrown it away-ish. Not, like, purposefully. Like, I had solid reasons, but I'm like, if I had only tried just, like, a little bit harder, or put that extra effort in, I would still be, you know, trekking away at this college thing instead of just trying to figure out my own way in life and being lost in it. Anyway, for everybody who doesn't know, I dropped out of college because I got depressed. Well, I was already depressed when I went, but that's beside the point. I was just like, wow, I'm just destroying my GPA. I'm going to drop out and rethink life. And then I've pretty much been doing that ever since. But
and now he's making a shitcast.
And now I'm making a shitcast. But I don't know, that's going to change. Because I've realized that I actually enjoy having money. It's pretty solid thing to have.
What about you, Sassdrew?
What about me?
Tell us about your scholastic or educational experiences.
Yeah, that.
Besides, like, well, first of all, I hate programming. Just plain hate programming. So all the comp sci classes I have to take are like a pain to do because I either sit there and contemplate not doing it,
killing yourself.
Pretty much. I mean, that's how it goes actually. And so, school's alright. Getting through the core classes is a pain. Probably what's ruined my GPA so far. Got an internship last summer. It was great.
Nice.
Wish I could stay there, but you know.
What were you doing?
Business solver.
Business software. Tech support.
Solver.
So you like...
Oh, solver.
Yep.
So, what exactly did you do?
Yeah.
Pretty much tech support, like, you know, fixing computers, setting up stuff.
So you don't like the hard coding side of things. You like more working with people and helping them solve their problems.
Well, I mean, that's kind of goes with technology a little bit. I want to be more on, like, the network infrastructure and security side of it. But, you know, being in that as an intern, it's kind of a little difficult.
Yeah, I got you.
So I got like a help desk role just because it's kind of like, you know, the standard, oh, hey, you're an intern. So, I mean, you paid well, so I wasn't going to argue.
Hey, like I said, money is money.
Money talks. And chopping this up.
The classic dead silence.
Yep.
We have a lot of those because we don't plan anything. We just do it, which is how Phonics likes to do things, so...
I like a little bit of planning. Not a lot,
see,
a
planning's
little bit.
overrated.
I mean, we had a conversation about this before we started. That's a little bit of planning.
The conversation was literally, hey, do you want to do a podcast?
Yep. That's all
5
you
minutes
need.
before we started.
That's all you need. We work very hard to get our special guest on this show, okay?
Yeah.
Basically, whoever happens to be around.
Shut up. Lots of effort was put into this. So, I guess the next question we should go with is, like, the reason you go to college is because you want to be successful.
No, it's because I'm Asian. My parents would disown me if I just dropped out of college.
Alright, well, and that. You're Asian. Your parents will disown you if you dropped out of college.
An Asian card has been played.
Yeah.
Oh,
Racism,
don't worry.
everyone.
I was refraining for like the longest time. Come on now.
You can only hold it in so long.
So, I guess what it is, how do you define success? Because I don't think that's the same thing for everybody. Like, if you want to be a doctor, right? Or...
never want to be a doctor.
Alright.
He's bringing him an
I
example.
stabbed myself, actually.
Just an example. If you wanted to be a doctor
Hey,
or
just because I'm Asian does not mean I'm going to be a doctor. Come on now.
Alright. If some person that's not Sassdrew, who I now understand the name for, wants to be a doctor, you know, it's very necessary to go to college. You have to. It's just how it is. But for a lot of things, like computer science, a lot of people, I mean, there's a high demand for people, so it's not as much diploma or degree based as much as it is skill based. If you can prove to your employer, hey, I can do these things, I can do what you need me to do, and I'm, a creative individual, and I won't run your company into the ground. One hiring process at a time. I can work this job. Granted, I have no personal experience with this. This is just something that I believe.
See, I'm just one. I'm gonna completely flip the topic a little. Not flip the topic, but go back to the original one about personal education. I find a lot of things that you would do, like especially like with anything with computers, IT department, what have you. A lot of the times you could turn around and Google search a problem for a fix. A lot of free answers online. While I get how that sounds, I'm just saying it's something that happens regularly. There are obvious issues that can be obviously fixed from your standard education, but you're not going to remember everything.
There's a perfect meme for this. I saw once, it was like, got my computer back from sending it off to support or repair. Opened my browser, found entire search history is filled on how to solve the problem I was having. I mean, and that's
it's
true.
Effective. I don't really think it's something that's really wrong. Like, granted, I do think there is some things that definitely need college education for. Like, I don't want my doctor to not have college education.
Or your lawyer.
Or my lawyer, yeah.
Politicians, you should probably know how the economy works.
Yeah. And I just think there are some things that it feels a college education is honestly pointless for.
Oh, yeah.
So, I think there's a small... I don't know, one of my teacher friends was talking to me about this. As far as the educational system's going, it's less what school you went to, and it's more moving towards a more skill-based system. It's not like as much scoring, like how many A's did you get? It's more of, can you do this task? And that's what they're starting to see in the educational system, like a shift to in the educational system, which is nice for, people who...
Can you give me an example?
I can't, actually.
Oh, okay.
I don't know, I talked about with them a long time ago, so I don't remember anything specific. But anyway, my personal belief is that you can make it to what people would consider a successful job, making more than minimum wage without college. Again,
so you mean like
statistics... Wait, what'd you say?
So I said, so you mean like Trump?
Oh my god.
We almost had it. We almost had a podcast where we didn't mention Trump. And you had to go mention Trump.
You're gonna hashtag build a wall now, Sassdrew?
No, I already did. Great Wall of China.
Well, we'll have to get Trump on here to rebuttal that one.
Yeah, apparently.
So, if you were going to drop out of college,
won't happen.
And
well, it's an if question, not a will you.
I don't think Sassdrew understands these questions. He's
hypothetical.
Just like, Sass, gotta go with it. Anyway, if you were to drop out of college, how would you go about being successful without getting a degree?
Make a podcast.
Well, I'm already successful, so it doesn't matter.
Oh, all right. Well, there you have it, folks. Sassdrew is already successful. That's why he's here with us doing this. And again, different people define success differently. For example, another one of my friends would be perfectly happy if he only played League. That was his life. And he did other things here and there, but I'm sure he would enjoy just playing in the LCS, and that's success. Just making minimum wage even, and just enjoying life in that respect. It's not really about making money or, getting a lot of respect from people or being a big name in society or anything like that. It's more of just simple things, and I wish I was like that, to be honest, but I just have this, everything I do is not good enough mentality. Like, this podcast... every time we plan it, I'm like, this isn't good enough. We need to make it better. And Voltek's like, it doesn't matter. Let's just do it.
I'm fine with making it better, but I feel like we can make it better through time and just getting used to being able to actually put out things without having to take these constant gaps we're doing, like in this podcast right now.
Constant what?
Constant gaps of silence.
Yeah.
What if you just keep on talking and just don't stop talking? We can just leave, and then there won't even be gaps of silence anymore.
But then you won't be here to sass us.
Oh, don't worry. I'm sure you'll figure out a way.
How will we figure out a way for you to be here to sass us without you being here to sass us?
Well, I mean, I only get on every so often, so my sass just like rubs off onto you guys for like a little bit, so it'll work out.
It'll work out. All right, well, let's move on to the next person because apparently Sassdrew already has it figured out. So how would you go about being successful or defining success or getting to your successful state of being of life without college, Voltec?
Still trying to figure it out. Where I want to go with whatever it is I want. I don't know, and I don't know. It's oddly enough I think about it a lot, but at the same time I forget it constantly. So I don't know where I want to go, what I want to do. I just know I'm doing something here and there. I've grown less on the lines of trying to make sure everything leads to this ultimate goal like I used to be, and now I'm more on the lines of just go with the flow. Things will happen.
So you started smoking weed.
That's still illegal here, so no. I'm a good boy.
Whispers behind his back, but yes. Alright, that's good. Yeah, this podcast is actually something that I've wanted to do for a long time. I've wanted to just make a podcast. I don't know why. I just thought it was a cool idea, and I never really had anything, like, major to make it on, which is why this one's perfect, because it's just about whatever we want, whenever we want it, so it works. Exactly. But yeah, I don't know.
Also, I was gonna say real quick.
Go ahead.
You're talking about you wanted to plan out subjects, and then we changed them last second. You're the one that suggested the change for this podcast.
I am.
After we planned it out.
Hey, I embraced it. Okay.
Okay.
I'm embracing.
Just wanted to clarify.
I'm embracing what we're gonna dub the Voltec method. The Voltec method of success in podcasting. Do whatever you want when you want, and it'll work out. You can tell by all the views we have on these videos.
Hey. We have 8 in the last one. That was 2 more than the one before that.
Hey, see, there you go.
And they were all Thomas.
I actually haven't watched any of the recent ones, but, you know.
That's the reason our views are dropping off.
Oh, rip. I think, I don't know. I haven't done a lot of research on this, so we'll have to do another one later, a part 2 per se, after we've informed ourselves on things.
On what? How to make a good podcast?
No. On self-education and the benefits and
the actual topic we were supposed to be talking about.
Yeah, what we're actually talking about right now.
I think us talking about the actual podcast ties into back what we were originally talking about.
Yeah,
I don't think it was that bad.
It does. I think what we should do is just go to we have our meeting about the podcast in the podcast, and it's part of it. So the podcast is about making a podcast and a podcast.
Podcastception?
Yeah, podcast inception. Anyway. So
I always do a little thing in the beginning, so it's kind of a little behind the scene.
So back to what I was originally going to say after we got on this wild tangent. Well, I guess I would define success for myself as being in a job that pays a reasonable amount of money to support my hobbies, which I want to get into building cars. Well, not building cars, but
restoring?
Modding cars.
Modding.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And hopefully it being a job that I at least mostly enjoy, at least 50%, just throw that up there. I really enjoy coding, but I'm always like, every time I'm like, hey, you should just mess around with code, or, get on Code Academy. I'm like, or I could play League of Legends. So, that's gonna stop.
I'll play League with you.
Kill yourself. Anyway.
The live League game podcast.
Oh, yeah. No, that'd be great, actually.
And then I've always been interested
in getting fucked. That'd be great.
Okay. I mean, it's called Twitch. We could just turn off the camera. Anyway, but I think I'm gonna write a blog. I think doing that will. It's kind of like if you fail at something or you don't get something and like you choose to be lazy, you're not only letting yourself down, you're letting all of the people who take the time out of their day to read your blog down. I mean, granted, you could just lie, which, you know. But it's, and you know, you have your conscience weighing on you then because you're like, I'm lying to all my readers. But, and then you kind of just build your own community, which, that's the other thing, to be more in depth about what I think college is. College, what you're paying for is, well, did I already say this? I think, well, I said it earlier to Sassdrew. But, what you're paying for is you're paying to be in a community of people who are going through the same thing you are. And you're paying for resources and you're paying for mentors. So you're just paying for like a big community with to sum it all up, a big community with resources. Because, I mean, like, you're not going to get access to all of the software that, I mean, for a blatantly obvious example, there's this student version, or like most schools offer Microsoft Word or Microsoft Office for free with a student code as long as you're there. So that's nice. Like, just stuff like that. Then again, if you weren't paying the thousands of dollars to college, you could probably just buy Microsoft Office for free. Yeah.
You're breathing the mic.
Yeah. I mean, granted, we want you to breathe, just not into your mic.
Not in your mic.
Yeah, don't stop breathing, bud.
Nah, that's too much work.
I'm Blue starts playing in the background.
Who?
I said I'm Blue starts playing in the background.
Got it. Yeah.
Yeah. Edit and post.
Nah.
And then we get a copyright strike from FL65.
Oh, you're actually saying putting the song in
there,
and then we get copyright.
Yeah.
Nah.
Nah. Alright. Well, I mean, I guess I'll just have to sing a version of it to put it in then.
Oh, no.
It'll be so much better.
Do it, pussy, you won't.
I probably won't, actually. I'm a little lazy. But, yeah. One thing I haven't... I'm a people person, and I'm charismatic, so I don't necessarily have the problem of interacting with people that you were talking about earlier, Phonics. And I always... It's really strange. I always seem to inspire people to care about me. I don't really understand it. Like... I just have, like, a lot of people who are just willing to invest in me, but I'm like, guys, I'm a pathetic sack of shit. Like, what are you doing?
Hey. It makes it feel any better. I wouldn't invest in you.
Thank you, Phonics. I wouldn't ask you to be in a podcast either. Oh, wait. Anyway, moving on. How long have we been talking?
Silence. It's only been like 25 minutes.
Nice.
Yeah.
Now we have to fill up
all the gaps of silence.
Now I have the sound of silence playing in my head. Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Well, personal education.
Personal education. So yeah, it's not for everything, but I think it's a more and more viable option these days. You need to do something to set yourself apart from everybody else. Like, you have to go above and beyond in different ways. Like, college is really like, don't get me wrong, like, I don't look down upon people who go to college or anything like that. I just hate the stigma that you cannot be successful without college.
Same.
As long as you have support from people or you have the motivation to get somewhere yourself, you could be a president of the United States. Obviously, that's a bunch of bullshit. Like, everybody has their roof, but...
I could.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're Asian, so...
Yeah, exactly.
How is that justified for anything to do with presidential elections?
Hey, if Trump can be president, anybody can be president.
I mean, you're not entirely wrong.
So, we've talked about... well, Phonics, what do you think about personal education? Like self-education instead of institutional education.
Not what just Google searching.
Oh, or you're just Google searching.
I said that's what I said earlier. That large portion of especially like tech stuff can be solved by just Google.
That is true. But I mean, you have to do a bunch of other things too. Like you have to read books and make sure the knowledge is staying in your brain.
I taught myself how to edit.
Debatable.
Well, yeah. Well, that's another way. That is another way to teach her. Never mind. I don't know what I'm saying. Something that popped into my head. So I was homeschooled all the way through high school. I only went to normal school when I went to college, which was interesting for me because, like, the idea that you have to write your name on something is like a foreign idea to me. I was like, oh. I mean, obviously I remembered to do it because I was like, I could look around me and, I was like, well, how is he going to know it's mine? Process, logical deduction there. No, I wasn't, like, cheating. I was like, oh, they're writing their name. I should write. I wrote, like, the person's next to me's name. Anyway.
Did you
I wasn't doing that. But,
okay.
That would have been really funny. But when you're homeschooled, there wasn't like a grading system, for me at least. It wasn't like, oh man, you got an A or a B or a C. It was like, oh, you did it wrong? Guess what? You get to do it over. And I think that's a lot more of what self-education is based on. It's like, oh man, I got this wrong. I have to figure out how to do it. Whereas, like...
rather than have to repay for a new class trying to fix what you got wrong.
Well, like, see, here's the thing. If you go to a class, a course, and you get a passing grade, but you only learned 80% of the material, you only learned 80% of the material. And that's going to come back to bite you. Whereas if you taught yourself and you're like, oh man, I'm going to be thorough, you know everything, and you took the time to learn it in an environment that works for you. Like, college... Here's the thing, college doesn't work for everybody. Like, you have all of these things they're saying, like, you go to the ACT, right? Then they have, like, well, if you have special needs or whatever, like, people are different. Like, there's a whole standardized test thing.
There was a special needs category?
No, like, if you have special needs, like, they'll do stuff to accommodate you. Stuff like that.
How come I didn't get it?
Yeah, I could've done that
you were too ugly.
Wow.
No, they have a special ACT for Asians. What the fuck? They put you in with the normal people? What are you, stupid? Come on, man.
And here I thought I was the sassy one.
Yeah, Sassdrew. Hey, I can snatch some weaves, all right? I do think, unless you're purposefully trying or purposefully working on yourself and coming at your education this way, like with this goal in mind, college will make you a more well-rounded person because you have to interact with more people. Like, I dropped out of college, but I don't regret going because I learned a lot of things. Like, I learned basically just a lot of people skills. College was the first time I ever actually genuinely told somebody to fuck off. And it was a really interesting experience. Like, well, I'm just going to tell the story because it's interesting enough. But, so the computer science majors all hung out in something called the advanced lab. So you have the general computer lab where everybody goes to get their shit done. And then you have the advanced lab, and that's where all the computer science majors sat with their laptops on the table and whatever. Some labs and stuff were taught in there and stuff like that. So it was pretty cool. Anytime you wanted help with your homework, there's always a depressed upperclassman there ready to go back to the love they had for fundamentals of programming, just live there in that moment for a while instead of doing their pressing senior project or anything, But it was kind of like this unspoken rule. If you left your stuff on the table, nobody fucked with it. Like, literally, I've seen people leave their stuff on this part of the table for, like, days, and nobody's touched it. The only time that was, like, excluded was when they were having a class in there, and, like, that space was needed for the class. That's it. So I mean, it was kind of cool because it was like the CS department at the school was like small enough. It was kind of like a family kind of thing.
Oh, yeah, I get it.
Yeah. So it was kind of like, I mean, it wasn't like super small. Later, I went to somebody's house and found out that there was a whole other side of people who didn't hang out in the advanced lab, and they were kind of like, you know, rival sides of the same family. Anyway, that was an interesting experience. But so I'm sitting there, and I rolled my chair over to somebody else's plate, like somebody else's computer, because I was talking to them about something, or I was asking them a question or something like that. And this guy, he was the same year as me, starts moving my stuff. And I'm like, hey, I'm just over here. Like, I'm like, this guy has the audacity to move my stuff while I'm right here. And I'm like, dude, that's my stuff. I'm sitting there. I'm using this space. Like, don't move my stuff. And it literally got to the point where I was like over there taking my computer from his hands, and he was like kind of not giving it back to me. And I'm like, dude, fuck off. Like, I didn't say, like, it was just a weird experience for me, just genuinely telling somebody to fuck off. Like, I've never had to get to the point where somebody wasn't listening to me that much. Like, I didn't know how to let them know I was serious. Like, I was just like, dude, like, no. But anyway, that was an interesting experience I learned from college. So I think if you're just teaching yourself, you'll get your people skills other places, or you'll have to learn them a lot more slowly, I think. Benefits of college.
Benefits of college. Yeah, I think that's Sassdrew.
Yeah, no. No, I don't.
Alright, what are the downsides of... I mean, I guess just... What are the downsides of teaching yourself stuff?
Motivation.
Well, yeah, there's no looming anxiety over whether you're going to pass that test or not, because the test is literally whether you make it in life. Of course, I guess that should be motivation enough, but it hasn't been enough for me so far.
Oh, now I remember what I was going to say. When you were talking about what you learned from college, I was going to say, all I actually probably learned from college was, fuck college, and, very, very slight Japanese, because I'm a reader.
Very, very slight Japanese.
As in,
did you take
I can't spell it I can't speak it very well, but I can read it somewhat, so.
Nice. That's cool.
That's about all I got out of my college education.
And here's the other thing. You can always supplement your self-education with a class or two here or there. Like, if you need help with something, like something very specific, you can always go and take that class from your community college. I don't think they'll get mad at you for taking a class here or there.
Yeah, okay. I want to say on that, I kind of wish that more, like, groups or organizations were open to that kind of learning, where you just take specific college courses and not have to go for a full degree. Whereas, like, a lot of positions will turn and say, oh, yeah, you need at least this degree, and it kind of, like, it's like either go all college or no college, and it's just, I feel like that's a really poor way to try and force educate people.
Yeah.
I think some college, as long as you take the, actual, like, mandated courses for whatever it is you're doing, it should be enough, honestly.
Well, see, they want you to be a well-rounded person.
I get they want you to be well-rounded, but no, you're not going to be well-rounded. Half the time you're in there, you're just like, well, I don't give a shit about this class. I'm just going to stress myself out to try and remember this for about 2 months so I can be able to do it all for a test, and then I'm going to completely forget about it.
Dude, I remember everything from Health for Life. What are you talking about?
No, you don't.
I'm a super healthy person now.
Same.
So healthy.
Yeah.
Rampant sarcasm for all of you who can't tell.
I don't know what you're talking about. Ramen on a daily basis is perfectly healthy.
Yeah, dude. I mean, that's pretty much the breakfast of champions. What do you think Jesus ate when he came from heaven?
Ramen.
Ramen?
Clearly ramen.
Yeah. And sometimes fish, but mostly ramen.
Fish is actually pretty good, though.
Hey, kill yourself. Alright. Well, seeing as though nobody has any content to provide on self-education, we're going to move on to our actual topic of today's podcast, which is food.
Really?
Yeah, let's do it.
You're just gonna change the entire thing?
Well, we're going to do both.
Oh, no.
We have like a time set. We gotta do. What do you think? You didn't even want to do the podcast on food.
I know.
So we'll just
I don't know.
We'll just do a quick rundown. Alright, so the first order of business here is reasons why you would not want to have a podcast on food. Sassdrew, thoughts? What's the problem here? I don't see it.
You know, food probably is not the best. You know, I can't say. Nope.
Exactly. Food is like it's like an amazing topic. You can do anything with it. Like
it's almost like you need it to survive.
Yeah. I mean, just ramen. But anyway.
Just ramen for life.
All right.
That's a food podcast. Just ramen for life.
All right. And that's a wrap. No, I'm just kidding. So let's talk about favorites. So favorite food. Go.
Ramen.
All right. I'm gonna have to go with ramen. So we got that one done. No, really. What's your guys' favorite food?
I'm serious.
No, I'm being serious too. I'm a college student.
No, I'm not talking about your favorite food that you can afford. I'm talking about your favorite food that you like to eat.
Hey. He's poor. He's forced to realize ramen is his favorite food to survive.
Well, I'm actually not. I got scholarships to pay for my college.
No,
so.
shut up.
Fuck you, you Asian shitty walk. No, I'm just kidding. I was really smart, so I just went to college.
No, I was Asian. That's
now
why.
I hate it. Oh yeah, I was Asian, so I just went to college, and now I hate it. Nice. Okay, well, my favorite food as of today is mac and cheese. Because you can, it's always
like cheese covered ramen.
Very, oh my god, it's very like. I mean, I guess that is technically that is one form of mac and cheese. If you like say noodle instead of mac, because macaroni. But anyway, I mean, it's very versatile. It's hard to fuck up unless you're trying to make it vegan, in which case it's very easy to fuck up and most of the time horrible. But so yeah, mac and cheese. Solid choice. Very American, even though, you know, pasta's generally Italian, but whatever. Alright, and that leads us into our favorite ethnic food.
Ramen. I don't regret it.
Me either.
I do. Yeah, that's a wrap, folks. That's all I have to say about food, because apparently everybody else is just going to say ramen for the whole fucking time.
Hey, you know, there's like questions you could ask that would make us not say ramen.
Like what? What do you like besides ramen, ethnically speaking? Alright, assuming ramen is your... Alright, let's just go through the rest of this podcast with the assumption that your first answer will always be ramen, and then so you can say your second answer, alright? Favorite ethnic food, go.
Cup ramen.
And that's a wrap, folks. Tune in next week to hear the real podcast on food. Thank you for listening to our podcast. Make sure to check out last week's podcast, which was about
personal experiences.
If you're wondering what happened to Hanky, we don't know either. But that's all. That's
he had
all
a
we
visit
got.
with the tooth fairy. We'll just leave it at that.
Oh shit! I didn't know that.
Well, now you know. You've been
I'd
educated.
like to thank Sassdrew for joining us. Say goodbye, Sassdrew.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Tune in next time where we'll discuss not food.
Fuck you.